All right. Hello, and we are back with another TSL series. This one here is the lower semi-finals between two teammates and two of the best PvT and TVP players in the world. Up in the top right, it is of course none other the timing attack master, the man who kills bitches, and the master of the Dark Templar comeback in this matchup. It's Zest. His opponent in the bottom left, standard, solid, and you give him 4 bases, Bio, Ghost, Widowmine, and he becomes near unstoppable. Getting there though, something his opponent's not going to give him a free pass to. This is Cure. Looks like Zest here checked for proxies over there behind his natural, and then we'll go across the map. It is of course the Gateway and Cybercore to block the Reaper ledge, can hide his tech back there. So even if the Reaper jumps up, won't be able to see what tech unless he gets in the front. So it's a good map with this wall off to deny your opponent's scouting. Excuse me. What tech you're going for. Now he's actually going to go Nexus before core. This has come back into fashion recently. But no, he's not. He was just checking for the eBay. Okay. Still wants to get that adept pressure across, and well, definitely going to be happy he's choosing to do that because he sees the wall off and he says, ooh, one base shenanigans. Thank you very much, Turkey Pilgrim. So Cybercore into the Nexus, of course, pausing probes on 20 to do this. Does have an extra probe pulled off minerals onto gas. As you can see, only 15 out of 16 there. Nexus goes down, and you always want to get that second pylon before second gas. You switch the order when you go the faster Cybercore, because you need that pylon to go down right now. Need that pylon. His pylon's 6-second late pylon. Holy shit, Zest. That's a real pig maneuver that he just did. So he was so busy scouting, he put his pylon down late. Cybercore finishes and he can't build his gateway unit for 6 seconds. Oh my god. Zest! Don't start a series like this. This is very important. You can't afford to play a TSL series against Cure with pig level execution of your opening. I do that every game. And I always get angry at myself. Zest cannot afford little mistakes like that. It doesn't matter too much because against a one-base player, you're not prioritizing getting the adept across the map. So it's okay. It's just one of those things you gotta, you know, in a more standard situation that could hurt you. Now, I like the adept sitting there. Wants to get a free hit on the Reaper as it jumps up there. Reaper does see the Stargate. So terrible Stargate positioning. It should have been placed over here by Zest. I mentioned that at the start of the game. So that's the second mistake Zest's made in this early game. It's a rough start to the series. Now that being said, Zest sometimes just does a few little weird odd things mixed into his play. So he might not care too much. And I actually think because he's going Phoenix, I would imagine, it's actually perfect for him. He's already got the second gate, 2 adepts out, and he's going up against a 3 Reaper 2 Hellion attack, which against Phoenix Adept is kind of trash. So let's see, does it go Phoenix, Oracle? Even an Oracle's not bad because it can just turn on its laser beam, and there's nothing that shoots up right now for Cure. So I am not a fan of Cure's build order unless the opponent is really afraid of one base all-ins. If they're going to actually be super paranoid here, sure. To me, it feels like Zest has just hit a completely standard build order. He's just been a bit more defensive with his adepts. And I love this. They're on patrol out front, so if the Hellions come in, he can get a shot and immediately then start running backwards. He wants to intercept them and land as many hits on the way in as possible, because the Reaper Hellion is probably going to want to run past him. Now that Oracle goes out. Uh-oh, those adepts. It's going to shade. Let's try and chase those units off. Oracle's going to go straight across the map. Does he have a Widow Mine out yet? He does. Where is it? Oh, he hasn't burrowed it. He doesn't realize. Uh-oh. Oh, this Oracle could do massive damage. If it's not afraid and it just goes in his mineral line, seeing that Widow Mine. Ooh. Doesn't end up going for it. I mean, he gets good mining time damage nonetheless. Gets 1, 2, 3 SCVs. Well done. Oh my god. Tryhard Micro almost gets punished there. Does get 4, make it 5 workers though. That's massive damage to start. And Cure starts this series off with the smell of gooch deep in his nostrils because he's in Dicktown, fam. It's not a good place to start off a series. This is an incredible start. This early stage is normally very fragile for TERRAN because they haven't started their production yet, but when they've already delayed their expansion to do a one-base build order, and they've done no damage with their Hellion Reaper, they've only killed your scouting probe at the very start of the game. This is a terrible situation. This Widow Mine drop now has a huge amount of pressure on its back. It needs to do damage. Third Nexus goes down. Not the fastest third Nexus, but still a great economic advantage. Phoenix are there. I like the patience of Cure to pull back the Widow Mine drop. Oh, he's even supply blocked now. God damn. Cure is so fudged. I mean, what do you do here? You really hope that Zest doesn't drop any follow-up tech, and Zest is not dropping any follow-up tech. Twilight. Zest needs to go charge from here because any sort of Robo Colossus Immortal transition is going to be too slow. But because he still hasn't dropped his Twilight, Zest is being really... This is a bad mistake. You can't just... Okay, I get Gateway units are good and it might be enough to just go Mass Phoenix Gateway. But to not add a Twilight, to add some sort of next layer to this build seems like a massive mistake. I got to be very critical of Zest's decision making here. I mean, it does seem like Q is just going to commit to an attack and having enough Gateway Phoenix units should beat this. But as that Marine Ball grows, you add the Hellions, you add the tanks, just having something like Charge or even Glaives in there would be an absolute game changer. So the Twilight goes down now. It's just later than it needed to be. Now he's got a great Phoenix Oracle army. 5 Phoenix, 2 Oracles, 6th Phoenix on the way, Forge Twilight on the way. 3rd base is going to be getting saturated here. Also, Cure is down 8 workers, which is not too bad, to be honest. It's the fact that his production sucks balls, I think is the technical term for what we'd be seeing there. 2nd and 3rd barracks is not even finished. So all he's doing is building Marines, tanks, Vikings. Ooh, nice double Widowmine shot. Does go down there. Gets an Oracle. Doesn't quite kill anything else, though. Only loses one of the Widowmines for it. He's going to go for the push now. Viking, lots of Marines. 14 Marines. There's 5 Adepts at home. He's building 3 more Gateways. That charge is just so effing late. Oh man, that stresses me out a little bit. Zest has had such a good start, but I actually was casting an EPT weekly and Cure effed him up after losing the first fight multiple times in that series. Look at that, Liberator in the main base. He recalls the Phoenix to the natural to go deal with that, but now that means his army at the front is a little unsupported. That being said, Cure's like, wait, that's just too many Gateway units. So Cure's going to pull home, but he's done some damage. He's kept the economies kind of, you know, similar, and there's no probes going to that base just right now. I feel like Zest could have ran away with this game, and instead he finds himself in a situation where they're both kind of on 2-base production, and they're just going to build those unit counts. So it feels like Cure, seeing a ton of units and a battery, said, fuck this noise, I'm going home. And now he's going to wait for Stim, Shields, and +1 to finish off that eBay. 4th and 5th barracks just going to have no add-ons. He's just going to build another maybe 40 Marines and just go. Just tanks, Marines, and he will pull every SCV off his natural when he goes. So it's going to be a delayed all-in. It's still going to be very potentially effective though, because there's no Storm and no Colossus or Disruptors. So there's only short-range sort of units. It's Phoenix, Zealots. Oh, the Widowmines get some more kills there and a lot more damage across those units. So they're going to die to the Marines a lot easier later on, which is very good for Cure. So Zest, I like that Zest is setting up Zealot counterattacks because I think he's going to need to cut off the reinforce when this push comes across. Q is probably going to move across, I would say maybe 20 seconds from now. I expect those tanks to unsiege and him to move out. The fact that there's no 3rd command center, I would be very surprised if Q drops a 3rd. I think we see a boy pool for sure, yeah. So combat shields +1 stim all finishing in about 25-30 seconds. So that's when he wants to be arriving at the opponent's side of the base. Zealots are going to come in from behind, but it's all about Archon, battery, cannon, Zealots. The Phoenix need to add something to this. If they could pick off some units from behind, that would be big. In the big fight, these Phoenix really aren't going to be the most useful unit. But look at that. Getting in, the tank and the mules caught on the outside of the base. I mean, the Marine rally should deal with this just fine. But meanwhile, at the front, this is the fight that decides the game. Cure has still got a pretty powerful army right now. It's a lot of Marines. 41 Marines! With Stim and Shields, +1 kicking in a moment as well. The tanks there doing what they can. The cannon adding some nice damage. Battery overcharge has not gone down yet. The cannon falls. He's going to go for it. His Cure, he's trying to bait him into this fight. Battery overcharge is kind of in range, but not completely. Oh! The Phoenix dragged the Widowmines over the Marines, but the Marines take damage, but they don't die, and they're still dishing out a crazy amount of hurt. Has Cure done it? Maybe. He's still got a very fragile set of 31 Marines on the map, a lot of which are at home right now. He's only got about 28 Marines left on the front. If the tanks fall, that's a big problem, because that means he loses his ranged firepower, his siege firepower. I think Zest has done it, honestly. I think he needs to pull the rest of his units across and regroup, let his units heal up. I'd like to see Q a multi-drop because all the Phoenix died. I don't think attacking the front's the right idea until the other units arrive. Q is going to go for it. He's going to try and do some stutter step here. He's got to be real careful. Watch out for the feedbacks. Oh, feedbacks on the Medivacs. Nice move before morphing the Archons. He'd love to punish and kill those Archons while they're morphing, but yeah, I think this is an overstep from Cure. Is it, though? The Archons aren't really able to land those splash damage hits. There's a tank here now. It's going to siege real far back, dude. 50 army supply versus 34. Both players have +1 attack here. The Bio, the Reapers are here from the early game. Reaper grenades do not bounce Archons, though. They are massive units. And dude, these Archons just will not die. There's another battery overcharge available. You got to use that battery overcharge on these Archons, bud. Ooh, Zest patiently buying time right now. He's on 8 gateways. His 9th and 10th gateway are about to finish. Remember that every second that goes by, Zest is just making too many units. And as all those medevacs go down, that is going to be that. Zest should be able to hold from here. He's already got 2 Phoenix, which of course I think he should be flanking and picking up the tank with, while the Archon Zealot overwhelms on the front. I'd love to see an armor upgrade come in for Zest, and I think he's ready to go. Archons are going to go in to take the first shots. Phoenix are going to lift up the Seiju Tanku. Archons are going to waste a bit of time shooting it, so I wouldn't mind a bit of a pullback here from Zest on the right side. But with no healing left, the Marines will not be able to hold up. That's just too much tankiness. Too many Zealots coming in from behind, and Zest, I don't know if it was the cleanest follow-up to his amazing early game, but a win's a win. He gets map 1. All right. Going into Beckett Industries up here in the top right side of the map. It's Dragon Phoenix Gaming Zest. I like to imagine he's fighting for the dragons and fighting for the Phoenix, those that rise from the ashes, because he so often has a terrible start and then still makes it into a very close game. This is Cure. Oh, this is gas first? Whoa, Cure. So my mind immediately goes to like a Drilling Claw Widowmine drop. Definitely something very tech-centric. I'm not sure what it'll be from Cure. It could be just a Hellion drop expand as well. So if he thinks Zest is not going to do any early proxy or pressure, then he might yeah, do something kind of badass there. This is an earlier pylon than normal, by the way, from Zest. He's just scouting for proxies and getting an early pylon, early gate, so we can get a very quick Cybercore to be safe from an early Reaper. Cure, I don't think is going to build a Reaper though, because I think he's going to go for Factory and Reactor very early. So only 1 gas, probably goes Marine, Command Center, Factory, Reactor is what I would guess. Let's take a look. Oh, even Factory before Command Center, wow. Okay, yeah, very quick Hellions on the menu. Most likely followed up by Widowmines. Zest is still just hunting everywhere for proxies. And is going to take that second gas after the second pylon. No pylon on the low ground just yet. Cure has not scouted. Just looking around, he should catch this probe coming in. Zest just checking and seeing no expand. Notice he turned around to double check. Sees no command center and he's like, ooh, what the fuck is this? But it's coming down just a moment later. So this is just a slight reordering. It's a 30-second delay on the command center, so it's not a massive delay. But look at how quick he's going to be pumping out Hellions and Widowmines. And because Hellions don't use any gas, you can pump 2 Hellions and you've got enough gas to start a starport straight away. So some people would even proxy a starport with this sort of opening. For now, of course, he's very mineral starved, so it's just SCVs, depots, Hellions, and even just an old school 4 Hellion dive can be very effective. Now, Zest has to be really careful, and Adept, of course, loses to 2 Hellions pretty handily, but as long as he shades backwards, that gives him some insurance. And he confirms Factory on the Reactor. As a PROTOSS player, when you see Factory on a Reactor and, oh, even glimpses the command center, that's kind of shit from Cure. I keep mentioning people misplacing their buildings. That should be placed there, down into the left 1 square. Sloppy as fuck, man. I'm shitting on these players because people keep giving away scouting. If you're going to build it on the high ground, you really want to keep him in the dark. Anyways, an extra barracks goes down pre-starport. So Hellions do beat Adepts, but as a Protoss, if you know that they're building out of a reactor factory, it means they are pumping a lot of minerals into that, which means things like Command Center's extra barracks are delayed. So knowing there's 4 Hellions, you know their next step is way delayed as Cure goes into very quick 3 racks. I think he's going to do a bunker push. Hellions dive in, but a very mature pullback. I would have continued to dive, but he just kind of backs off for now. And just having these threatening on the map, by the way, it actually kind of forces Zest to be very turtly. So when you've got Hellions on the map, they can dive in, one-shot probes really well. Zest respecting this, he's got... Oh, he's actually gone Robo. Super safe play by Zest. And he's got shield batteries in both mineral lines. Don't like that gateway positioning there. Does lose another probe for free. But, ooh! Oh, what did the observer see? It saw a second barracks with a tech lab. It didn't see the third one, which, by the way, is just building Marines. It's not even building an add-on. Dude, Q is like... Yeah. So this is a different type of opening. This is inspiring me. So where Q has gone from here is similar to a build that I've been doing recently. I copied it from fucking Coffee in China. Where basically, in many regards, you're like, I got Marauders, Stim, Shields, I've got Marines, I've got tanks. It looks like a normal build, but because you skip the starport, you cannot heal. So no stim unless it is right in the heart of your opponent, up in their guts. And it also means you can skip these gases. Notice Q is cutting SCVs because all that matters is units. This looks a lot like a normal build if you can deny the observers, and there's no confirmation of no starport. Even though it's a quick second barracks, which is a bit of a tell. I mean, Zest doesn't realize for sure just how committed this is. So you can then basically say, look, I've got stim, I've got shields. You could even get Marauders out with it. And then you can just pull a few SCVs and do a sick bunker tank push where you're not really stimming much, but you're just inching forwards with tanks and bunkers. And what's so good about it is you don't need the gas. You're just putting more and more shit into army. And Zest here taking a third base, that might be a little ambitious. He's got great observer coverage, but I really think he needs to come in and actually scout the fact that there's no third command center and no starport. That being said, Zest has stopped on 45 workers for now. He's got one Colossus out. Daddy Longlegs is out. Number 2 should be on the way. Indeed it is. Extended Thermal Lance is there. Scan. He's going to come forward. And that's it. He's going to pull the boys. 2 Marines there. He's got more Marines coming. Stim and Shields on the way. And this is exactly what I was talking about. It's such a fierce push. The Hellions purposefully pull Zest out of position, even though they don't get any real damage done. Gets a probe on the front to try and stop him putting too many batteries down. But he's got to be careful. That Colossus. Oh my god. Every swipe from the Colossus is danger, dude. Danger close, danger close. The siege tanks are going to unsiege and move forward, but he's got no way of bullying back the Colossus because there's no Marauders in here. He's going to try and push forward. Stim and Shields is done, but he's got to be so careful. That Immortal can kill the tanks very quick. The Colossi can kill the Marines very quick. He's going to get rid of the Observer and immediately unsiege that rear tank. Move forward. Oh! He's got to be careful with the Marines. The Colossus is doing a lot of damage to the SCVs right now. Oh, the Immortal goes down. Dude, the tanks do some good damage. One tank there. I'd love to see him repair the tank. Yeah, he's going to repair the tank, wait for battery overcharge. Now remember, he used his stim. That does not get healed. And Zest, honestly, does not need to defend this third base. He should hang out here, but if I were him, I would think about taking the other base, and I would definitely think about a Twilight Council behind this to try and get charge. There's no real need. This is basically 2 pylons or 3 pylons. That's what this represents for him. Yeah, to be good later on, but there is a long time before Cure really turns this into any sort of economic follow-up. So Zest here is patiently going to give this up for now. He's going to send some adepts across to try and intercept the rally point. They'll do well versus Marines, not versus tanks that are rallying. Zest comes forward, one Stalker falls, other one's getting bruised. He wants to land some swipes. And he does have a Twilight Council on the way. Comes in here and he's focusing down the Marines, trying to get the Marauders as well. But you can see, oh, that's a very good shade. So the Marauder there is going to try and focus down the red hit point. Adepts does indeed do so. Third base falls for Zest, but Zest is like, dude, you don't even have a natural mining. Like, I don't actually need to fight you. I just need to slow down your advance, buy time for charge, get some more Immortals, get some Zealots out. And he's got an Observer set up again. And Q is like, hey, you're actually too good at dancing right now. You must have the vision. Finally, those Adepts will get cleaned up. One of them will shade out to safety for now. 3 Colossi just standing there. And look at how much they're slowing the tanks down. Q is like, dude, let me fucking get forward, mate. Uh-oh, does not want to be losing that Cyclone. It's a bit of a loss there. And remember, he's got to be very careful. Looks like the Adept came in from behind and died. Okay. I think, yeah. Notice, if he can spread the Marauders out front, they'll be so good versus these Colossus. He stims. That's a lot of tanks. He's got to pull the Marines back. He's got to pull the Marines back. The Marines should be behind that tank line, I think. Oh, it's just enough. Battery overcharge, that Immortal. Look at the damage that Immortal puts out. And that is, yeah, really great patience by Zest. He realized this is a at most 1.5 base all in. I do not need to defend my third. Gives it up, cuts off the rally, and dissects Cure. 2-0 advantage for Zest. Oh, right, down here in the bottom right-hand side, representing Dragons, Phoenixes, and Gaming, it's Zest. And his opponent representing TERRAN Tears right now with a rough start to the series. It's Cure. So, is it time to go a normie expand? Cure so far. Oh, he's going gas first again. Wow. 15 gas again, right on 27 supply, 27 seconds in the game, 27-28. Super crisp. So I like seeing Gas First come back. Gas First is really cool. I think every Terran should mix it in. They really should mix it in. Once again, checking around for proxies is Zest. Thank you very much for the love, those watching live on stream. If you're watching on YouTube, hope you don't mind the sounds of me in a hot tub getting raw bacon slapped into my face. You know, are those moments when you lose your dignity really real if you don't relive them for eternity? Don't know, man. Hey, nice bit of Proboras. So one of the cool ways a lot of people did is eBay block with Gas First. So I actually feel like there is a way you can do it where if you hide an SCV here at the right timing and you come in right as the Cybercore is about to go down, you should be able to get it before Zest realizes, because he's going Cybercore first. So definitely eBay block actually could be working in this series. He goes down at about a minute, checks if you're doing it, and then goes back up to build the Cybercore at about a minute 20. So I think you've got to come in right at about a minute 15, minute 20, and that's when you start the eBay. So you've got to do kind of a later than normal eBay just to avoid when he checks for it. I'm rooting for Cure because I want to see him turn this series around, and I also want to see what variations he has off this Gas First reactor opening. I also wouldn't mind a low ground command center. It's a little risky. Oh, he's doing proxy starport this time. Ah, I like it. The most common proxy position on this map is, of course, here and here. So he's going to go for that Hellion drop this time around. And if Zest goes Oracle again, Oracle can kill Hellions pretty quickly, but it means he'll be a little bit more open to that drop. So no command center just yet. He's got to keep those depots up to make sure he doesn't get supply blocked during this. And you're going to notice that the idea is, because 4 Hellions come out so early, they're going to get over here, the medevac pops, and just ferry them in here, dive in that mineral line, and look for a roast. Zest knows it's a factory before expand, so he knows he's got to look out for this. Oracle or Phoenix. He's building a spotting pylon. And this is going to be Oracle. Now, the Oracle could do big damage, but it's not going to do damage as quickly as 4 Hellions. Very unlikely. Command center starts on location, knowing that 4 Hellions is a big thing to deal with. 4 Hellions coming over. They're going to join up with that medevac now. Is there any dark area? Not really. There's a tiny little bit there. But basically, he should be spotted as soon as he comes in. 3 Adepts at the front, 4th one on the way. No battery in the main base. There's no pylon to even put a battery down. And the Oracle, oh, it's not going to see it. Oh, any warning would have helped out here. Zest is a little quick. Oh, he's very quick to shade up, but it's just a bit too late. These Hellions are going to find an absolute slaughter in this mineral line. Good discipline from Zest to not pull the probes, because that would just line them up even more. His Oracle, though, is going to have its work cut out for it, dude. These Hellions are just roasting. Anyone ask for some barbecue? And the Widow Mine. Oh, the Oracle actually already running into the Marines. He got enough Marines out. He got 6 Marines out. Wow, it only gets 2 SCVs. He loses 15 probes, and well, just like that, we see why having a Phoenix or an Oracle on defensive duty is something you're meant to have against this sort of 1-basey openings. You know, Zest being a bit too greedy, sending that Oracle across the map, and Cure finally is able to put a bit of fear in Zest and say, you can't... Dude, I'm doing a 1-base opening. You're macroing up to 40 probes versus 25 SCV Terran. You think you can send your only tech unit across to harass at the same time? Do you know how fucking obnoxiously greedy you're being? And Zest is just like, well, I mean... It worked the first 2 games, dickhead. So I might even do it in game 4, just to have my Adepts in a better position, and it might work better. Hellion runs in, doesn't get any kills. He did get a couple of SCVs there. Zest is back in the lead in the workers, but of course that's not really reflective of the position you're in. The starport has now flown home. He's going to build a reactor there. There's 2 barracks up. He's going to start a 3rd racks as well. And, oh, no worries. Are we still live? Test, let me know in chat. It says me bitrate stable, but I don't know. Maybe that's just Battle.net shitting itself, or my internet cut out. We are still alive. Fantastic. Hopefully the recording is uninterrupted. Shield battery is up there. DT Shrine. Okay. So he's going to bank everything on a DT Shrine because Q has been following up with such aggressive pushes, even skipping the eBay some games, never getting a Raven. That actually makes a lot of sense. But it's 2 base, Zealot DT, basically. So, yeah. Reeking of desperation is Zest's situation right now. He's going to have to take a 30. Sending Adept Spotters out because he's got very little vision units. Like the Phoenix and the Oracles are being used aggressively. Big pack of Marines, some Cyclones for zoning. And I think Cure could actually just play a macro game. The fact that he's building 2 turrets tells me we're going to see a 3rd command center in the near future. Proxy gate on the front for Zest so that he can warp those DTs in quicker. He's already on, he's going up to 6 gateways, and he's going to build a few more as well. Yeah, so it's just going to be an 8 gate, 2 base charge lot Phoenix. Super duper all in. The idea here is if he's not going to be able to kill Cure, like that's like a 0% chance in my opinion. Unless Cure comes to him. So this is a tiger in the grass approach. It's a reflexive all-in. You know, I always say it's the tiger in the grass because you can't just fucking jump at the herd of antelope or, you know, wildebeest. The big ones will fuck you up, right? A lion's vicious, but you need to separate your prey, and so you need this push to come out to you. So the Phoenix and the Oracles are just scouting, just waiting, but a scan sees no 3rd base, and Cure's like, yep, nope, fuck that, fuck that, fuck that, go home. He realizes, wait a second, you would love me to walk out, get surrounded by charge lots right now, wouldn't you, you piece of shit? Instead, he's going to do a single 8 Marine drop, which if I were him, I would not send in. He's queued it in. I don't fucking like that. This should wait here and wait until Zest is attacking him, in my opinion, because every unit counts right now. It's cool that he's spread his Marines and he's just focusing on as many Widow Mines to counter Zealot Adept as possible and stuff, but look at this. He's going to go in. I mean, he can overpower those Stalkers pretty quickly. Good focus fire. So he gets 3 Stalkers, man. That's not cheap for Zest. And then he'll pick up, but what's the pickup to? Oh, I love this. Fucking Marine. Chaticus Maximus, the Marine there. He's going to try and unload. I think the Phoenix and the Oracle should deal with that. He gets the Oracle! Oh, he gets the Oracle! Chaticus over there will get taken out by the Stalker. And oh my god, he gets a Phoenix as well. Okay, Zest. I mean, Zest was in a desperate position, but now he's in Sloppy Town. I'm sorry, mate, but this is some Sloppy Joe's PROTOSS. He looked so good in Game 1 and Game 2. Things aren't going well. It's easier to make mistakes, but yeah, he's going Blink DT Zealot all in. There's a turret. He's seen the turret as well, so there's no way this is going to work. He saw the turret building, but Zest is just flustered right now, and the Widow Mine spread means Mass Zealot. Archons ain't going to do shit. EMP is the best answer to Zealot Archon, but Widow Mines are much more accessible and cheaper than Ghosts. Only 75 minerals, 25 each. A spread of Widow Mines plus a good amount of Marines, mostly Marines. Marauders help for tanking, but the Marines are best for their damage output. It basically makes you unkillable by mass Zealots. So he's going to try and come in with a big surround. The Blink DT wants to blink behind and trap the units with a bit of a force field. But because Q is aware of this, he's like moving in and out like he's going to step out, but he's not actually going to do it. Zest is just making units, making units, making units, making units, making units. And he's like, please come out. He's like, look, if you come down the ramp, I can trap you with the blink on the force fields. The Zealots will charge in, and then maybe I get you. Right now, he's going to use, I think, a hallucination to blink in the main. Is that what this is? I think that's what this is. But he doesn't have a sentry, so he can't. Yeah. With blink DTs, one of the best ways you can actually do it is if you get an observer over here or a warp prism, you can just queue DTs to just blink into the main and just keep harassing their main base that way. It's really cool to just bypass the cliff. Something we don't see that often. All right, tiger in the grass. Unfortunately, I mean, this is a herd of full-grown fucking giant moose Terran. Like, these guys have big horns, but Zest is going to go for the base trade because he's the master of DT base trades. Q needs to go home. Go home, go home, go home. Oh my god, Zest always does this sneaky piece of shit. He's so... Oh, there's too many Widow Mines, though. There's too many. Because look, if he can kill the orbitals or force them to lift, he can win the base trade with DT. So Cure caught way out of position here. Zest is such a piece of shit when it comes to setting up these base trades. Cure is seeing his life flash before his eyes as his whole army stims home. He's already had to use 1 stim, 2 stims now just to get home. And he's already lost all of the SCVs on his natural. I think, though, Zest needs to get out. Zest's done good damage. He needs to blink the DTs out, recall the Zealots. He's trying to fight the army, but I think Zest needed to be a bit more wily. No, Q is respecting this. He needed to not stay here. If he blinked the DTs out, recalled the Zealots, and then went again, he'd actually be able to do this. You've just got to stop Q from attacking your side of the map. But Zest choosing to fight there, I mean, it was a perfect setup. because there's the thing is, basically, Cure has an unstoppable army advantage. So he has to just avoid the army, avoid head-on clashes, and he did it so well. But to fight there, that was the one mistake he made. It was perfect up to there. He set up what could have been a victory. The problem is that this army is still very big for Cure. Actually, the Marine count, a lot more Marines died there than I thought. There's still a chance. It's a small chance for Zest, but there's a chance. Dodges the DT, the Widow Mine. Gets the scan baited out. He's got more Zealot DT coming in. He's looking to catch these units in small numbers. No, Zest, get out, run. Zest's got to wait for him to move out. Fighting like this is not going to do it. He tries to blink the DTs out. There's another scan, though. Tries to morph an Archon because it's tankier. I think Zest, with his 41 probe to 13 SCV advantage, needs to put it back in his pants a little bit. He just needs to use the waistband trick, just tuck it a little bit, just for a moment, because look, now he should be going in. But look, a little squad of units, a Widow Miner turret, he picks up to boost across the map. Cure knows he's on the clock because Zest is going to transfer and saturate that third soon, but he's still got a very scary army, and he has two scans available. With the turret at home to deal with all this, oh, is this enough bio though? Oh, this is so close. Oh my god, it looks like with the SCVs tanking a lot of the damage. Yeah, Zest's not going to be able to do it. Zest almost setting up a comeback from a completely dead situation. He's done it before. He almost pulls it off, but Cure wisely pulls home, cleans the army up, calms things down, does get a map on the board. Oh, right, guys. The series continues. Once again, I was like, dude, seriously? I was like, this game, he lost the Oracle of Phoenix. I was like, okay, Zest is floundering. 2 base DT, this is desperate. But the way he set up and was so patient with the Zealot DT, that was actually beautiful showcasing of how you can make a base trade comeback work. Didn't quite pull it off, but that was beautiful, and that's one of his specialties in this matchup. Now, he's about to get proxy racks. This is Zest. And his opponent is going to do the most Chad proxy racks I've seen in a while. This is Cure. And I say Chad, but isn't this terrible? Oh, you're fucking kidding me. Are you serious? If the probes go out either way, they don't see a barracks there? No! I love when players figure this shit out. They're like, actually, on any path you go,
thanks for the Bezos
I could put
box.
it in this really obvious spot. It's like the one that's behind the grass on 2000 Atmos. Just below the ramp out front in your natural, there's like a hedge, and a proxy location, and it's right outside your base. So, but the thing is, there's no reason a worker would move through there on almost any scouting path. So it's just, it actually ends up pretty good. So the probe does scout pretty early and sees double gas. So at least Zest is aware of that, goes for that Cybercore. As I said, 1 minute 20, that's 1 minute 18 is when you want to come in, start the eBay. He gets down here 130, your eBay is 15 seconds started, and he's like, fuck. If you want to do an eBay block. Studying Zest's habits. So I know how to eBay block him next time I play him in a weekly before he counterattacks with 3 stalkers and kills me. So we got a factory at home, and it's just going to be a Reaper or 2. No Zealot for Zest to help buy time. So Cure, because this is so close, he probably wants to kill, I would say, at least 1 probe plus a shitload of mining time. Or if he doesn't pull too many probes, you want to try and kill 2. If you can get 3, then that's super sick. Let's see what he can do. Stalker's being chronoed. He only has a little bit of time. Pulls a lot of probes to Zest. And look at that. Oh, the Reaper takes a few hits. But he's got to be careful. That's a lot of mining time. So he'd still like to get at least 1 probe. And yeah, 1 probe plus a lot of mining time. If you can get the second and that much mining time, it'd be sweet. But he's going to lose the Reaper now. Oh, is he though? Zoning grenade. And now he's going to try and regen. He injects combat drugs now. But no, he's 2 hits from death. There's no way to get out of here. Buys a little bit of time, but no. Now the other Reaper's got to leave. Run. So, I mean, that's still a lot of mining time. I think it's okay. Losing the Reaper kind of sucks. Oh my god! Oh, that poor probe was spazzing out as he got drilled to death. I like the command center on the natural. The pylon on the high ground, just there to block the add-on. So that's, oh man, that's a good move. The Reaper jumps in, and I think it can jump up there. So I think, did he fuck up his wall off? Is that what happened there? Or maybe it just got shot on the ledge. This is very annoying for Cure. I think he wanted to build a Cyclone. That's normally what you want to do here. Instead, he's just got to defend with Widow Mines for now. But he was like, okay, I'll just do a Widow Mine drop. Fine. Quick Robo. So he's going to get the Observers out. Now, I haven't seen a lot of like Prism Stalker, like the old 3 or 4 gate just Stalker Prism attack. Because obviously it scales so badly, but it's just the initial Prism and like 6 or 7 Stalkers can kill so much shit with good micro. It's a noob killing build as well. Like I always die to it. Pros always do that shit to finish me off quickly in PvT. Yeah, no 3rd gateway or anything. So just 2 gate Robo, no Twilight. But we expect that to come down in a little bit. Might even go 2 base Colossus actually. Since he's already got 3 gas and no Twilight. Maybe a really quick Robo Bay. Widowmine's gonna load up. So it's a Hellion and a Reaper at the natural. Widowmine drop towards the main. Observers are on the way out. 4th gas goes down. So we might even see a Forge before Twilight Council. When you play 2 base Colossus, sometimes players like to go very early upgrades with it. It's pretty old school. I wouldn't expect to see it here, but you never know. Raven's coming. That's going to be really good against this Observer style. 2nd barracks, tank production. Widowmine's coming in towards that natural. Uh-oh, Zest. Wake up, Zest. Ooh, Reaper Hellion's going to add some damage here. Oh, he loses the Stalker there. Oh my god, the Hellion Reaper actually getting some nice shots, but he kind of... Oh my god, the Hellion! Oh, the Hellion got some big shots off on those probes. Just 1 or 2 more Hellion shots in the midst there would have been pretty big. 4 probes, but he loses all of his Widow Mines, which is a bit of a bummer. And going up to 3 barracks. Cure and Special are 2 of the Terran players who are basically 3-raxing before Command Center every game against Terran PROTOSS recently. And we've definitely seen be an interesting meta evolve there. Alien Reaper dives in. I'd like to see that medevac get out. He's going to get 1 probe. Can he get 2? Yeah, he'll get 3. And the medevac will survive. Not too bad. I think this early damage is kind of keeping Zest a little bit slowed down and distracted is not bad. But Zest has got a Colossus on the way. He's going to go for a 3rd. The Raven's going to harass this game. Both observers are defensive. Zest doing a bit too much F2ing in this game, I believe. Does start his 3rd base at 5 minutes 30. No Twilight or Forge in sight. Ooh, okay. I mean, Stim's only just started. That barrack still needs to swap. It's a 4 gas opening. I do think we'll see a 3rd command center. I don't think we're going to see a boy pool this game. It just doesn't feel like the setup. There's not that many units out. Raven sees the 3rd base, goes back to hide in the dead space for now. This medevac's still empty. Would love to see that boost out the left and get home. But maybe going to wait for a distraction before doing so. Double medevac production is going to slowly start up as the gas allows it. Stim, shields, and +1 weapons all on the way. And he's actually swapped the factory off a tech lab, but then built another tech lab, which means that Cure is super tank focused in this game for the meantime. He's not going to be swapping into the Widow Mines, which classically Cure was a Widow Mine boy. He loved his mines. I think the tank production makes sense against Colossi, whether pushing or doing a macro. If you're doing like a 2-base all-in with Widow Mines, you can make it work versus Colossi, but it comes incredibly reliant on you Doom dropping and split dropping different mineral lines, because you can't really push through Colossus and Shield Battery on the front. The Overcharge, the Colossus range, the Observers they always have. Widow Mines don't really work, but tanks can do that because they outrange the Colossi. That medevac already almost falls. That's going to be a prime target for those Stalkers. The Colossi are doing such a good job of zoning it. Ooh, you can see he really wants to hit that clump of Marines. Both players microing very well. Like the scan. Going to try and break these rocks so we can actually push in between the natural into the heart of the PROTOSS. Now, Charge is on the way and he's going up. Oh my god, he's got so many gateways building right now. He's got 2 gates, but he's building 6. So there's very little unit production right now for Zest. He's just like, well, I'm building Zealots 2 at a time and 1 Colossus at a time. And I think he'll even build a 4th Colossus because that's what he's been favoring. But no, he actually opts for a Disruptor. Interesting. Mixing it up a little bit. Bit of a cheaper unit. Faster to produce as well. Now that tank has now got ramp control. So as Cure gets vision forward, this tank is going to start shelling. And this means Zest can't rotate between the natural and the 3rd without getting shelled on. Oh, he's going to stim forward. Dude, there's no charge yet. The Zealots aren't ready. Dude, double interference matrix says you're a cuck on the right. The bio stims in the left. That ball is going to need the shot of a lifetime. He hides it. Oh, dude, he hit it on the high ground so that he only showed it with less warning. And then he went through into it. Dude, that's so sick. Tank bio coming on forward here. And the Colossus are going to start falling on backwards. Dude, the Colossi have shelled down so many units. They just can't kill Colossi tank on their own is the problem. Unsupported Colossi. Now keep in mind there's still 41 probes. If you can just pull off gas, only mine minerals, and just make 1,000 Zealots. Zealots plus Colossi equals kill stuff good. Colossi kill marine good. Zealot kill tank marauder good. You need that combo. That Zealot flank on the tanks, that could be killer. Does he have battery overcharge? It's 8 seconds. 8 seconds away. The Zealot flank's going to cut off the reinforce, in fact, which is probably the even better move. I absolutely agree with that. Stalker's finally warping in because that Viking's getting way too much damage done. That Viking's going to force out battery overcharge on the Colossi just to touch them up. Zealot's coming in from the flank as well. This is going to be a great hold for Zest. He's going to get a beautiful cleanup on the tanks, but actually the Zealots need to kill that tank, dude. And that tank is still alive. Oh, I thought he was going to clean this army up. I thought he'd still be dead because Kua has 56 workers and 3 command centers, but I thought he'd at least kill that army. Apparently not. GG, well played. Kua gets in there and smacks him. Colossi up against just Raven. It was such a heart of his defense, and Kua decisively committing just before charge finish. That was beautiful. All right, up here in the top left-hand side in the blue, this is Zest. It's tied up 2-2 now. His early advantage has disappeared. But we're going into a big map where I would like to see this boy go back to some more economic play. And I'd like to see a return to Widowmine Ghost as the focus. Obviously, if you're playing against Heavy Colossus, you can add some Vikings in. But I want to see a bit more mobility, use the dead space, use some drops and so on. And not so much focus on push, 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 aggression, aggression. But as I say that, he goes gas first again. Maybe Q is just happy with these openings. I just don't see this transitioning into a third CC. And I don't think it's nearly as strong on this map because everything's been focused around 2-base pushes. It's not going to be as good on Romanticide. It's hard to get across there. You've got to push up this ramp where you can get flanked as, you know, you can get surrounded as you move up the ramp. It's a big wide open one. It's just not that good. And we'll see what he can do. It's Cure. This is a best of 7, first of 4 wins. And for those who are wondering, this is the RimWorld soundtrack. RimWorld is a fantastic game. You guys should check out, and it's got a great soundtrack. There's also a expansion soundtrack, which we're not listening to right now. Oh, that probe comes in. The SCV says, "Don't tease me, bro. Stop it." Cybercore goes down. Gonna go down to drop that Nexus in just a moment. Oh. Probe here. Now notice he's just going to go back up and say, yep, factory again. Okay, fair enough. So once again, this reacted factory play, is this too predictable? Cure obviously is like, this is my go-to. I've got many branches off it. I think what's important is that Q has done so far basically a different follow-up to this every game. So it's easier to look at this and go, well, it's just dumb. You're just doing the same thing every game. It's like, well, not really. He's opening with the same first 2 minutes of the game. And then remember, as far as Zest knows, there could be a proxy starport to load up some Hellions for a Hellion drop. Game 3, where that did a massive amount of damage and basically won the game. It could be a Widowmine drop. It could just be a few Hellions poking around. Command center on the high ground, command center on the low ground, later command center. He does not know. So similar to any normal expand build, this is just a slightly different style of opening for Cure that he's favoring. He can still go in many different directions from here. Also, it was a proxy Reaper last game, so it's not even the same opening if we really think about it. Stargate being favored by Zest. I think Stargate's the best way to play on this map. There's so much dead space. If you don't have Phoenix to control it, it can be a bummer. And he's going to actually open up straight Phoenix as well, which I like that mix-up. Q is going to go double Widowmines and a quick starport after the command center, so looks like Widowmine drop is going to be the choice. Hellion on both sides, just looking for proxies for now, seeing if he finds anything. I like that. Q is just checking for DTs or a proxy Stargate or anything like that. And it looks like the Phoenix here is just going to hang around, see if there's a proxy near the base. So, Zest has been super Colossus focused in this series. Cure has been very, let's get a quick second and third barracks focused. Now with the quickest starport, nowhere near as quick as in those first couple of games. But it's going to be Okay, Hellions. Ah, okay. So it's going to be a 4 Widowmine drop by the looks of it. And he's going to swap that around so we can start Marine production to deal with any Oracle. It's only got 3 Marines to start, which is enough to, of course, slow down an Oracle. I think they can... I think 3 Marines barely loses to an Oracle, I believe. I think 4 Marines beats it, but the Oracle fighting 3 Marines is going to cost it most of its hit points anyway. So it's always a questionable trade, because if another Marine or anything pops out, you're vulnerable. Uh-oh, does he have enough Phoenix for the lifts? 1, 2, 3. No, he doesn't. Oh, yes, he does. He cancels one of the lifts. Wait. Oh, wait, no, because the 4th Phoenix actually comes in the middle of it. Oh, and he even double lifts just to ensure that it gets shut down. But the Hellions dive through at the same time. Oh my god, he loses quite a few probes. Oh, making the most of that. Well done by Cure, but unfortunately he leaves his medevac there. Easy pickings for those Phoenix, which... Zest, we're gonna kill that, right? He's like, yeah, you can get out of here, man. Tank is building. Ooh, no Cyclone? I think you're gonna need some sort of extra anti-air here as Cure. Gonna swap that factory around, try to get those Widow Mines out. Twilight before Robo, so it's actually gonna be a charge follow-up most likely. Phoenix do find that medevac out on the map. But the medevac at least buys some time. The Phoenix aren't killing SCVs during this, which is okay. +1 attack on the way for Zest, who's got a very early forge. I wonder if he built that forge because he was worried about drilling claws. I think that's exactly what it was. I think the moment he saw the Widow Mines, he was like, fuck, there might be more of this, and there might be drilling claws or an armory. And I don't want to build a Robo because I want to play Phoenix Charge. So Robo's worthless for me. I just want Phoenix and Zealots. So instead I'm going to build a forge and build cannons if I need them. So the reactive forge, he decides to just make use of it by saying, well, I've got it. I might as well upgrade it. Robo now comes down, but it's a delayed Robo. He's already got his Gateway Explosion on the way. 3rd base is going as well. Now that 2nd and 3rd barracks are building up here for Cure. Ooh, good micro here on both sides. The SCVs pull off the gas, but the Phoenix stack up and don't really take any real damage. Getting 2 SCVs. Cure puts back on gas immediately. I think that turret could absolutely have been placed over here to cover that a bit better. As it is, it's kind of making the SCVs take a roundabout route. Route. Route the route. We've got a lot of gateways here. He's not really probing non-stop because, of course, Zest is focused on getting out his charge deck to deal with this push. So he's paused probing at a very similar worker count. He says, look, I mean, I know I don't have a worker advantage. Your economy is actually better than mine, even on 2 base, or at least similar with mules. But I am going to defend this push and then have the 3rd just probe up really hard, take a 4th after I defend, because I've already got the Phoenix. You can't reinforce because I've got Phoenix cutting off your reinforce. You can't pick up and run away because you lose your medevacs to the Phoenix. Charge is not quite done. A very crazy push from Cure to come in so hard and fast, but the charge not being done. I think Zest, big mistake to push forward there. Zest should have pulled back. Zest should have waited a little bit longer before he engaged there. I don't think it matters because charge is so good versus this sort of quick push. And the Immortal even comes forward and kills the siege tank. And as we said, that's going to get shut down. Cure continuing to push into this was really relying on Zest just not being ready. And you can see it started out looking kind of nice for him, but then he ends up losing quite a few units. That being said, he maintains position. He's going to stim in. No, bad choice. He's going to have to stim again in a moment. And his Marines are already damaged. It's Charge Archon. He's got to leave. I think Cure continuing to push here makes no sense. I think maybe scare him, but do not actually commit to the fight. Because Archon, Zealot, Immortal, like that's a good early to mid-tier army. Zest is not really probing that much right now. He's just kicked in some more probes. You've got a 3rd command center finished. I don't think you need to take this down. He's going double eBay Armory. 4th and 5th barracks should already be up. Indeed, they are, with a reactor and attack lab, so we can get more Marine Marauder production. When he adds Ghosts to this and a good Widow Mine count, Zealots are going to scale badly, as are Archons. There's pressure on Zest here to finish saturating this base, to get gases, to take a 4th, and to really get up into that next step of Disruptors, Dark Templar, those late game units. So Cure, as his army builds, Biomine scales better than Zealot Archon, in my opinion, just generally, as long as you get double upgrades, which he is, especially against 1 Forge. You add Ghost to that, and it's like your army at max is so much better than these units. Disruptors and DTs can turn that around a little bit. DTs for the counter attack, Disruptors for the frontal ability to zone your units out. But it's interesting the way those power dynamics shift. Bio in small numbers, Zealot Archon, if it surrounds or flanks it, can really annihilate it. But when you get to a big enough army, it seems almost impossible for Zealots to find an engagement. It doesn't look like absolute shit. That's where Zest is going to get forced into being more of a mobile player. And that's what's happening now. He's got Zealots out on the map, Phoenix doing harassment, and he's swapping into double Robo Disruptors. There is a weak point in the middle where he's really just relying on a couple of units to defend at home. And Cure may be able to push in there. It's like both players are kind of trying to go to the next step. The double upgrades aren't really there for Terran yet. The Disruptor Colossus transition is not there yet for Zest. Both players are transitioning, and they're both still building army, but it definitely feels like Cure's army is way bigger right now. But Zest sees this bush and is like, okay, warp in more sentries, more zealots, and force fields should keep him completely fine. Phoenix thinking about going in. He's got a big zealot run by coming, but there's plenty of bio to deal with that. I actually really like Cure's position. It's just as Colossi come out, I don't think Cure can actually force the issue. So if Cure had a 4th command center and SCVs building behind this, I'd love it. But I feel it feels like he's trying to force the issue right now. Oh no, get out of there. Get out of there, Cure. He's gonna get the sentries, but the Phoenix are back now. And with that Colossi, those Stalkers coming in as well, the Immortals, really nice control here by Zest. He needs an observer though. Those Widow Mines not getting taken down. There's more bio coming over. And actually having lost all those sentries, was that enough? We've only got 1 Colossi building right now, despite there being 2 Robos. He's warping in a lot of Zealots. It feels to me like definitely it's been a little more efficient for the Terran. He's going to go for a Doom Drop. Ooh, there's only 1 Colossi giving the range unit advantage here. He gets some Widow Mines kind of burrowed in there. The Phoenix are going to die. Oh, and that removes the anti-air. Because the Stalkers... Oh, wait, blink finished, blink finished. If he tries to pick up and leave, he's probably going to lose a lot of bio. And they're actually choking up a lot right now in this area. More units come in from behind, but I think Cure might be overstepping. No, he gets the Nexus. And he's going to get these medevacs out. Cure looking great. And this was the Biomine non-tank production Cure that I was talking about at the start of this game. On this map, just multi-prong, attacking, burrowing mines everywhere. This is the way to do it. This is a fantastic way of spreading out across the map and, yeah, just kind of continuing to expand and overwhelm and keeping that pressure up. And there was a lot of dancing on the edge of, am I committing? Am I or am I not? And Zest kept going, oh, fuck. I'm caught being greedy and having to cut probes and swap back into unit production. But he just wasn't quite able to shut down any of those pushes. And I think it all came back to the first engagement where he should have waited for charge before he engaged, and then he might have been able to just slap the first push down, shut down the medevacs with the Phoenix, and get control of his side of the map again. As it is, Cure takes the 3-2 advantage. All right, damn, he's only 1 game from finishing it off is the Terran. This guy needs to win the next 2 games to bring this back. This is Zest. Low ground wall off here on Blackburn. His opponent in the bottom left, is he going to go gas first again? This is Cure. Looks like no gas first this time around. Ooh. Just a normie barracks gas. Wow. Wowzers. Zest going for 16 gateway, 16 gas. 26 seconds ago. Oh, yep, well-timed gateway. Right on 38 seconds. Woo! Thank you, Chitty Chicken, for the sub. Welcome back, mate. Now, does Cure rally his SCV to the inside? No, he doesn't. Oh, that's some noob shit from Cure. So Cure there apparently not having the attention to detail that Scarlet taught me to have, and I only do about half the time in my Terran. Always got to make sure that first worker goes to the inside to mine. It happened to this time, so maybe he would have shuffled it if it wasn't going to end up there. But you should just queue it ahead of time as soon as you start the gas. No SCV scout for Cure. It is going to be a Marine first opening again. Command center factory. So still a factory, but just with the command center and a bunker down this time to back it up. I wouldn't be surprised if we see more reacted factory, kind of like Hellion Widowmine shenanigans. Won't be nearly as fast or as committed as the previous games, though. So the SCV comes over. Oh, he's not going to swap. Factory goes down over on the left. Okay. Adept is on the way. And we'll see exactly where that one goes. Pig's hair is not growing back as fast as I hoped. It's the last. This is the last head of hair, chat. Get wrecked. Get wrecked. That's it. Dot, you sold my hair. Dot's in here in chat lamenting. She sold my hair, guys. And now she's lamenting it. That's what happens. Fucking walking around in a robe with a pimp scepter all day, trying to sell this bacon. Oh shit, that bunker's late. Cure fucked up, guys. Oh, Cure fucked up. This is a real tight opening from Zest, and Cure, oh, this is such a silly way to lose. I'm not saying he's dead, but I am saying he's fucking dead, guys. This is a disaster. Dude, this is so bad. Oh my god, this is so bad. Oh, this Adept is going to deny this command center. Holy moly, leaves the game. She knows it's done. Oh, trying to rotate these SCVs. Oh my god, already losing 3 of them though. And now guess what? The SCVs are in the bunker, which means there's not space for the Marines. There is a Hellion out at least, and we'll get that up at 3 SCVs, and so much mining time has gone down. There's no minerals to build out of the factory or to start the starport. Zest is doing a totally normal build, just happened to drop a second chrono into an Adept. Yeah, poked aggressively with them, but could have actually stayed in there as well. I don't think needed to back off there. He's worried about losing the Adepts, of course. Just playing very conservative. Says, hey, don't even risk it. Let's just take no damage. Behind this, the Twilight is up. DT Shrine's on the way as well as a Robo. It's going to be a DT drop. We're going to see probably 3 gateways and then a Robo, Prism, sorry, pump out. And with that starport already so late, having taken so much damage, Q is in a massive, massive problematic position here. A position of problems. A problem of pain. A painful position. Because you got no scouting, you got no presence on the map. That Hellion should actually snake around the top, I think, to check for the 3rd. Because Q is just too blind right now. And he's just going to go, okay, I just build some... I think in this sort of game, your best bet is literally to build a 3rd command center and a tank right now. And just chill. Just be like, well, I don't know what the fuck's going on. I need to just play purely defensive. Because I don't know what I'm going into. I have no idea what I'm going into, what I'm going up against. He's going to go for the 3 racks play again. Double Tech Lab. But DT Shrine finishes in 15 seconds, and that Prism's going to warp right into the main base, I reckon. Oh, well, it's kind of risky to do that. You shouldn't really do it, but maybe down in the shadows is okay. Yeah, he's going to warp in outside and ferry them in a bit safer. You might be like, well, Raven's on the way, he's fine. No, no, no. Raven will not be here in time, and there's so few units on the ground. There's 10 Marines, Hellion's out. So we're going to have 12 Marines, and a siege tank will pop in about 13 seconds. Raven's still 30 seconds away. It's too far away, mate. DT's going to walk in the front, 1 in the main as well. This is an absolute disaster. There's no scans available. If he just had 1, it would change everything. The Widowmine does zone the Prism out, so that's a nice little maneuver. Might just kill some Marines there. DT does start to kill those SCVs on the natural. Notice the Prism is waiting for the scan or the Raven. Picks up and says, hey, I was already ahead in this game, and now I just killed 6 SCVs. You got 30 workers on 1 base. You're fucked. I'm going to just morph Archons and go for the follow-up wave. And you can see QA is so afraid to send workers back to the natural. Finally does it. Zest can start a 3rd base behind this. He's going to have a double Archon drop against unupgraded Marines. They are absolute Archon fodder. And you've got a lot of dead space on this map, so you can hit the mineral line from behind, ferry into the main as well. 3rd base is going down. Forge, Robo Bay, Shield Battery in the main is a little bit of insurance. Next to no units at home. You don't need them because you're keeping your opponent ducking and covering with these Archons. Even hits the Raven for a fair bit of damage. Oh, those SCVs are very clumped up. Wants to get some more hits on these units, but not the most effective damage from Zest. And one of his Archons especially is very weak. So Cure's chance of victory here basically rests on Zest having an aneurysm. So, yeah. No, I've seen Cure win from this situation. I don't think it'll work versus Zest, but okay, Archons get 1 Marine. Oh, that Raven takes a bunch of damage. You gotta watch out for the interference matrix though. 1 SCV is drilling the Raven, slowly repairing that Raven, giving it a bit of survivability. So it's gonna be Blink Colossus. I mean, as Cure, it looks like he's just playing such a generic style. I think he has to pull the boys and go all in, but he's got 1 tank against Colossus. Oh, shit! Sorry, guys, I didn't even catch that. One of the Archons died. He flew into 2 Widowmines with the Prism. So Q killed the Prism with the Widowmine trap, and 1 Archon died before it recalled. That was a pretty nice pickoff. That definitely weakens me. He scans, he sees the Colossus. So now you're going to make your decision, Cure. He drops a 4th gas. He's going to play macro. I don't think there's any reason to drop a 4th gas if you're going all in on 2 base. I feel like everything should be mineral focused. It's too late to be investing in a gas. It won't have time to pay off. He's swapping the factory onto the tech lab, so he wants to build tanks to help deal with the Colossus. But he needs a third base to start very soon. Zest isn't really pushing his economy. I feel like Zest is almost giving too much respect to the threat of a counterattack. I guess after you lose your Prism and your Archons, that makes a lot of sense. That was a big defensive tool and a chunky unit in the Archon that you've lost. But he's just intermittently probing. Third command center starts for Kua. Kua's going to try and drag his way back into this game. Widowmine drops for harassment. Third command center on the way. He's just going to keep upgrading off the single engineering bay as well. He's going to try to do an 8 marine drop in the main. I like this. Just little bits of harassment. But he needs to keep SCV production up. He can't just be building SCVs once the CC lands. If you're doing harassment economy, you're doing a much longer term path to recovery. So you've got to get the SCVs going. And he does start those up now, because he's basically banking on winning 7-8 minutes from now. He's not going to be winning soon. He's just trying to slow Zest down, harass him. Oh, he's going to get at least... Oh, yep, not bad. 4 probes. And check it out. Pylon doesn't see the medevac. So I think he's going to wait with this one until he knows Zest is distracted, because this is such a one-way trip. Oh, then he just goes in anyway. Not a fan. I like the turnaround. Blink is done. I think he'll get out because those stalkers would have to blink across the buildings. Yeah, this sort of building placement, if you can leave a gap along the bottom, it really does allow you to clean up drops a lot easier. Okay, kills the hallucination. SCV production's pretty solid right now. Still only 1 eBay. Oh man, I don't know. Do you add ghosts next as Kua? I think you add ghosts. He's got 5 medevacs, so I wouldn't mind some Vikings being added in. There's 3 Colossi out, 4th one on the way. Widowmine Drop's still doing some stuff. And Kua has such an ability to just survive into a longer game. Oh, 5 probes, very well done. Keeps one alive, goes back to the dead space over here, but he takes a lot of damage on the way. Doesn't get clipped by the Stalkers though, so that's good. There's no observers on the map. Zest, because he doesn't really push the economy to the 4th, often falls behind in this sort of game. But because he's got the gold base, and he had such a good start, I feel very good about his position. So it's just a pack of Stalkers, Colossus, Immortal Zealots. Does he have a Warp Prism? No. So no Warp Prism. He's going Blink DTs. Zest, like, I don't know, man. At least he's probing now, but I'm like, dude, build more probes if you're going to play this slow, or get that fucking Prism out and go attack. But he's kind of got to do something. Like, Kua is just clawing his way back up in supply. And while his tech still sucks, you give Kua another 2 minutes. He's got a double eBay, an armory, a Ghost Academy. He's building a reactor with the factory to swap a second starport to increase his Viking count. I don't know, man. I feel like this is just a situation where you give Kua another minute or 2. He's back in this game. He might already be back in this game. Gold base is good, but with no Prism on the front. Oh, Stalkers run forward, loses 1. The others get heavily bruised. This is a great tank line from Kua. He's just happy to sit on 3 bases, even building a bunker there. And I don't think Zest has done enough in this game. Does kill a Stalker, but loses the drop with that Widowmine drop. Nexus on the 5th. Still not an amazing work account for Zest. No addition of Archons to this. No Disruptor production. Only 1 Robo. I mean, I often talk about and shout at Zest for just sitting on his ass. I'm like, dude, what are you doing? What's the plan? Like, he's not maxed out. He's got a pretty decent army. It's not an amazing army. What is the plan, Zest? I cannot understand. He's just massing Blink Stalkers? Okay, this is nonsense. If Kua sieges in time, he should win this fight. I feel like Zest's ability to take a lead and build on it is either amazing or fucking terrible. And this time it's fucking terrible. What are we doing? It's a good little DT harassment coming in for Zest. I don't like shitting on Zest because he's one of my favorite players. His power is so good, but I just don't know what his plan... Like, he's not doing anything to further his position in this game. He finally starts Disruptors, and for some reason, Warp Prism speed. I like the Blink DT counterattacks. That's good. Blink DT counterattacks are fantastic. That's really an effective thing to do. And you know what? Q is a little slow on his 4th command center. He doesn't have a 5th command center on the way yet. The ghosts are only now coming out. I mean, Zest's being given a lot of time here. But what's he doing with that time? He's building 1 Disruptor and he's just massing DTs and putting all of his eggs in one basket. I don't know, man. This is honestly, I feel like there's ways to ensure you're going to get the lead. Zest's positioning here is very good in that he's threatening on the front. He wants to kind of slow down Kewr's push when it comes and let his DTs do the magic. And as far as I can tell, Kewr does not have enough defense for that. So if you want to defend Blink DTs, guys, your bunker, and this is something I'm surprised Kewr isn't doing because he seems to be aware of the threat, all right? DTs have shown themselves. You need to surround it with buildings. You need to limit surface area, otherwise they can just blink on it and kill that bunker in like 2 seconds. And you need to run your SCVs really quickly because look at how fast they die. Quick recall there. Meanwhile, EMP does clip some of the stalkers, but not too many. Watch out, big ball on the north. Big ball, just gonna hit the siege tank. And one Colossus will fall. Oh, there is a High Templar, I believe, in that Warp Prism. No, it's just a Stalker in there. Dude, Kewr wants this win. Anti-armor missile goes down. Okay, he's got to be careful. The Colossus are killing the Marines pretty quickly. He's got to siege the tanks. He does so. Oh, man, there's no disruptors. It's just Zealots up against Bio. Battery Overcharge is going to get taken down. I mean, this is a good position to be in for Kewr right now. Zest, it all comes down to this fight. He's got so many Zealots. The Bio's a little clumped. The DTs blink on top. The Bio is very clumped up there. The Zealots are going down, though. Interference Matrix on the Colossus. But, dude, apparently the Zealots are more than enough to overwhelm this Bio army. That's one we got to go back in the replay and look at. Felt like Kewr there was not fighting for a large portion of that fight. Was just kind of getting surrounded a little bit too much. His Bio went a bit too far forward. And he loses a lot of Bio, and now it's just a mass Zealot Archon counterattack. All the basic units for Zest. And Kewr just lost a bit too many units. He's got to try and recover a little bit here. He's got some Vikings he's pulling back. They're good for killing the prison, but it's just mass gateway units for Zest, and that's all he feels he needs. He got a good enough surround with the Zealot Archon. And if they get the surround, even in big army fights, it turns out that's enough. Look at this army difference. 40 army supply advantage, and Zest here apparently was just making himself look weak so Kewr would commit into him and then he could win with Zealots. Zealots are the answer to every situation in PvT. This is the lesson I'm learning from Zest once again. GG, well played, mate. Zest is going to tie up the series at 3-3. Kewr's got to tap. All right, let's rewind that really quickly, guys, because I think, yeah, it looks like he'd bled out too many units maybe before the fight started. Let's take a look. Okay, so similar army supply, really scary army, but he does lose a lot of Marines to the Colossus. Gets 2 of the Colossi on the retreat. That one barely survives due to battery overcharge. That battery overcharge does keep the Colossus alive. Probably worth it. No, at this point, yep, I mean, less workers for TERRAN. He's got a few bio units at home. He's got more bio building. Obviously, the problem is they've traded out a little bit, right? So TERRAN has 4, 8, 10 supply there, plus 8 supply there. So he's 18 supply down in terms of army that's in production and not here, plus being down another 17 army supply. And before the fight happens, Zest is going to warp in another 10 Zealots. Or 9 DTs, in fact. So this just actually ends up being Kewr is simply just too far down in army supply in this fight. This is actually just back to basics. Yeah. Kewr's army is just not good enough right now. It feels like, now's my moment, let's go. And he actually, so basically he's kind of worried about the Disruptor mass blink DT run by game. Those DTs blinked in and killed 10, 15 SCVs. He's back in the 50s. He's not rebuilding them. Kewr has kind of decided to go all in here, but it's actually not the right fight because he lost some units coming across the map. Because he's got units that were defending the DTs and units still building, and because Zest buys his time, waits a moment, maxes out. And you can look at the army supply and say, no, he's ahead. No, not in this fight, he's not. A lot of that's in production, coming across the map, and in the bunkers. And he does go too far forward with his bio as well. That's way too far. He wants to kind of bait Zest into fighting him. But notice anti-armor missile is wearing off all these units. So that's gone. So Zest waited for the anti-armor missile, the orange Dorito dust to fade off. That's about to disappear. And the bio actually gets blocked by his own tanks. So already he's too far forward and he needs to get back a huge distance. But that tank there, if that was open, he'd be okay. But these tanks create a wall and his own bio gets stuck on it. So not only is he Not quite got the numbers. I mean, it's even upgrades, so it should be okay, you would imagine. But just let's watch this again before we go to game 7. Yeah, a lot of his bio is just trying to squeeze through the gap rather than turning and shooting. So all his tanks are dead by the time his bio starts fighting. And, wow, what a one-sided battle. Where's the boost on the Medivacs as well? He should have picked those units up and got out of there a little bit quicker, I think. GG. Really good fight by Zest. And Cure just needed to be a little bit more patient in that one. I think he thought that Zest would be going Disruptors and all these fancy units that he kind of wants to push into and leverage the tank range. But it was basically just Mass Zealot DT Archon that ended up killing him. Let's go game 7. And we're here. It's game 7. And it all comes down to this. Zest started off with a 2-0 lead. Came back to 2-2 and now 3-3. In the top right, this is Zest. Down in the bottom left, representing Dragon Phoenix Gaming, it's Cure. I've been seeing a conversation going on about high graphics. People are kind of asking about, is it bad to play on high graphics? You want to go in game and press Control, Alt, and F all at the same time, and that'll bring this thing up in the top left. And that's going to tell you your FPS. So if you're not at least 100 FPS here in the early game, turn your graphics down. Because chances are in a big battle, that's going to, when there's a lot of units on the screen, that's going to drop like crazy. And the main thing, it doesn't matter how good your graphics card is, it's all about your CPU for a lot of the graphics settings. And the in-game menu actually tells you, hey, this one relies on your graphics RAM. Hey, this one relies on your CPU for a lot of the settings. So you guys should absolutely check that out. They're also talking about visibility of different types of units. On very high graphics, I'm not sure how visible things are. Like Ultra, I think everything's so shiny, it's actually kind of hard to see invisible units. But there's a few settings you want to have up high, even if most of your settings are low, like textures, that really allows you to see invisible units, burrowed roaches moving around and that sort of stuff. Nexus, guys, no scout. Game 7 of the series, no scout, just checked for proxies, straight into Nexus before Cybercore. So a bit of a greedy opening from Zest. But is it really greedy? It's greedy because a Reaper could get into do damage. It's greedy because a proxy barracks could do damage. But the only time there's been a Reaper is when he proxy racks, and he did it right next to Zest's base. So in a way, Zest is countering the only aggressive options that he's seen out of Cure that could punish this. So I actually really like what Zest's doing. It looks like a proxy Stargate Oracle build is what he's going to be doing. Because Cure has most of these games been opening up with a Marine, very turtley, very defensive, and not turtley, sorry, but very defensive initially, and just trying to get up the quick factory. Now what's interesting is Cure is changing it up completely, skipping a bunker by the looks of it. I think because he saw the Nexus timing, he's just gone Marine Reactor, and he's going 3 barracks here. So he's going to be going for a big bio play, and that gives you plenty of Marines to deal with a Stargate proxied Oracle, especially if you scout it. Oh, Drilly boy! Yeah. Sees the Stargate. And Cure is going to feel very good about that. No, he's not going to cancel the Stargate. This is not Haas. This is not But Always or one of these crazy lads. So he's going to be going for it, letting it finish. Probably just goes 1 Oracle, and I wouldn't be surprised if he goes Twilight Council and Blink afterwards. We'll see. He hasn't really opted for that style today. That because it's been scouted and it's proxied, it just seems like a way of kind of saying, let's go in a completely different direction that you're not going to be as prepared for. So keep our eyes on the main base. More Stalkers building, already at 2. And the Oracle's going to come in. Plenty of Marines, as we said. Second Tech Lab is there. He's building a bunker at the front, is Cure. Don't think that's really necessary in this situation. I guess the Stalkers actually could be a giant pain. There's no ramp, so yeah, you do need a bunker. Shields is on the way. No factory or engineering bay just yet. Keep your eyes open on that as the Oracle comes on in. Oh, Oracle. Oh, that's a lot of... Ow! Only gets 1 Marine, takes a bit of damage. 1 Marine, totally happy to pay for that. Twilight and 2 more gateways. Yeah. And lots of Stalkers out. So I really think it's just going to be straight into Blink. He's going to go 4 gas. I thought he might go for a quicker 3rd base behind this, but it looks like just a big 2-base Blink Colossus follow-up with a single Oracle on the map. And indeed, that's a good way to transition out of this. So, also he's going to go, yeah, 4 gate on 2 base. I mean, obviously, yeah, he can't get a third because it's 3 racks, can he? So he kind of has to build a lot of units on 2 base. Now, Cure, I think, is committing way too much to this. Oh, he does have an engineering base, so that's something. Oh, bad depot placement. He knew the Oracle was back there, and he builds the depots in the most exposed position. So he loses 2 SCVs, has his depots delayed a little bit. He's going to build a missile turret in each mineral line and go for a push across. The job of this is really just to deny the 3rd base. Blink is so late, he absolutely can do that. Stalkers are going to pick off 1 or 2 Marines here. Factory goes down now. He hasn't started +1 weapons yet, though. Cure really needs to start that +1 weapons. Now, he's going out the left side of the map, so he actually wants to depower the Stargate on his way to the 3rd base. Little does he know it's this 3rd base that's being taken. Now, Zest is really just got Stalkers, and he's making 5 sentries. So this is why Zest's favorite thing to do against 3 racks is mass sentry. He loves to just split them with force fields. He says, you don't have medevacs and you can't heal. So the moment you stim, I'm going to block you with force fields, and then your stim's going to wear off and all your shit's going to be damaged. I'm going to use this with shield batteries. He's got 1 at the natural, building 1 on the 3rd. A scan goes down. Cure takes it really easy. Oracle gets another kill, this time slowing down the factory. Concussive is on the way, as well as +1 weapons. Still no 3rd command center on the way for Cure, but he hasn't really traded his army out. So this is still a very close game. Double Forge for Zest. He's going to go Mass Gateway? Oh my, wait. But with 4 gas? Zest is in a bit of a weird position, guys. He's going 1-1 Mass Blink Sentry right now. I imagine he goes charge. He's going to start a Robo just because he doesn't have that much stuff to spend his gas on right now. He's already, you don't want more than 5 sentries. So he's going to start banking gas if he doesn't get into like Colossus or Disruptor tech real soon. Who knows, he might go straight Disruptor here, just as the kind of quicker unit to get out, whereas Colossi take a long time to build up. Oracle should be doing a Revelation there, I would imagine. He's got a lot of Stalker Sentry. There's no way this bio can really engage. And 3rd CC on location, I like that. Cure is doing a great job of threatening and making it very scary for Zest to play this situation. He has so many more units. I actually think Zest is being too greedy. Even with the power of battery overcharge, I do think that Zest actually could maybe lose this 3rd base, or at least control of the mineral line. QSC is a fully saturated 3rd, and he's like, F you, dickhead. Oh, no. Cure is going too deep. Oh, no, that's a terrible move from Cure. Oh, okay, it does get some of the Marines out of it. You can't stim into battery overcharge like that. Oh, that's a real bummer because his medevacs are coming out. I really think he needed to preserve this unit count and build it up with the medevacs, but I think seeing the fully mining 3rd pissed him off a little bit, and he was like, oh, fuck, I can't let you get that for free. He goes in, but Zest now is definitely got the economic lead. His Stalkers have been so efficient in this game. And look at this. Picks off 1, 2, 3, 4 Marines. Damages some Marauders. Even gets a Marauder before blinking back. And he's barely taken any damage. Oh, dude. That Marauder goes floating up to the top of the ocean. Cure's got to chill. Cure has got to chill. What are these SCVs doing right now? Who knows? Somehow he's pulling SCVs off his base. He's going up to 5 barracks, is Cure. I feel like a Doom Drop in the main might be where it's at. I don't know. At the same time, maybe just stop attacking. Just swap into a defensive stance. Play the longer game. That's gone okay for Cure in some of these situations. I mean, the one he lost on Blackburn, that was not him having a worse late game. It was he just got overwhelmed by Mass Zealot Archon with a bad engagement on the opposite side of the map at the wrong moment in the game. Still a lot of force fields. Oh, he's going to drop Widow Mines in the mineral line while the fight happens. So not a bad fight. Forces the battery overcharge. Gets a few kills there with the Widow Mines. That was a good little engage there by Cure. He's going to pick up and boost into the main base. Ooh, one of the medevacs has not actually got its boost on cooldown. He's going to just unload there. So he should be able to kill these Zealots pretty handily. It's going to buy some time for the Stalkers to get back up there. But now it's Bio versus Stalker. Oh my god, Cure's got this game. I think he might just have this. He's going to kill a lot of Stalkers. Oh, he does pick up and pull back. Was that a bit too... Okay, don't drop there. No. Okay, Cure, if he was not going to stand his ground and fight, he needs to run away. That's cannon battery. Oh, that was a bad rotation. Cure got a bit of a boner, and Zest is going to capitalize. Takes out 1 or 2 medevacs there. Cure does pull back, though. I think overall a good trade. Zealots come in and hit his rally. That's going to pull Cure home for a moment, as those Marines and Widowmine do go down. Zealot's going to go see if they can grab some SCVs before they get taken out. The second Engineering Bay and Armory is on the way, but that's much later for Cure in this game. So even though he took some good trades on the other side of the map, I thought he was going to get about 5 or 6 more Stalker kills, but Zest blinked them back, bought time for more Zealots to come in, and that was very important because those Stalkers are very expensive. Now, we've got a double Robo Colossus transition on the way. 2-2 is less than a minute from finishing, whereas guess what? There's no follow-up here for Cure. He's got a giant army, but as these Colossi and 2-2 come out, Q is out of time. Time is running out of the hourglass. There's still some force fields. There's still a new battery overcharge is ready here. Zest fighting on the front lines as hard as he can. Great force fields. The Colossi are adding some damage. And this was the most important moment because this is pre-Colossus range, pre-2-2. He hasn't even hit his power spike yet, but Zest defends the lower tier army. Q is starting +2 attack. Where's the +2 armor? It starts. Where's the second starport? Where's the extra production? He does see that observer there. He's going to stim some Marines to take it out. But Kua needs to back the fuck off right now. He's going to split his army onto both sides of the map, but he's in danger of getting jumped on because he's thrown a lot of units away. He's lost that big army supply advantage. This battery has given so much value. I wish there was a statistic on each battery to show how many shields it's healed. This motherfucker has healed like 6,000 shields in this game, and it's because Kua keeps giving him the opportunity to fight like that. Q is going to keep attacking in here. 2-2, Colossus range is just finished. Zest has a much better army than Q. Q is going to try to leverage the mobility right now. He's going to go for the big drop in the main. I don't mind the positioning from Q. Is it going to be enough? Oh, the Stalkers. Wait, you can unload. You got to fucking unload. Oh, no. The AFK drop from Q. He had to get that unloaded. Loses a full medevac. I mean, Q has got to. He's building depots. Where's the Ghost Academy? Where's the second starport? It's just not there. Zealots come in and slow down his economy as well. I mean, Q is in a good economic position. He's ahead in workers. He's keeping him locked on 3 base. But he's bleeding out units and he's leaving his drops in very dangerous territory. Kua needs to move to the next step in this game. Zest is just battening down the hatches and trying to survive. He's got Cannon, Zealot, Colossus Stalker in the main. He's got a Colossus squad there. This base has become kind of unassailable because this Cannon battery combo has been so effective. The natural might actually be the weak point, and Kua is looking poised to jump on in there. 2-2 almost finished to catch up for Kua. It'll be good if he can fight when that's there, but before 3-3 is done. If he can fight when those upgrades are even, it'll be rather nice. Zealot comes forward. It's going to see this. It will see this. He's going to drop in the natural, and he's going to try to rotate in the main at the same time. So he pulls the units out of the main. Oh, this is a nice way to fight. Some good Widowmine hits, get some of the probes. DT's cleaning it up, though. He doesn't realize there's DTs on him. Oh, no scam there. So the DTs actually do so good. Now, Zealots and DTs are warping in on top of him inside the main base. Widowmine's killing a lot of probes. Q is killing a lot of the economy, but he is losing a lot of army for this. He's going to have to be careful because this whole thing's going to get cleaned up. Those medevacs need to leave. Oh, he tries to hide in the back corner. The Widowmine's actually doing really good. How many observers are there? There's plenty. So he cleans up the Widowmines there. Q needs to just go home and rebuild. He's got to kind of stop attacking for a moment and make sure he rebuilds his army. He's also got to make sure he has an answer to the Colossus, which he does not have right now. Oh, that's why he can't pull back. Because if he lets the Colossi plus force fields fight him one directionally, his army's going to get split and fucked. He needs to actually counterattack and be the one who's aggressing, because he's got such a range disadvantage. Playing pure Biomine Ghost, he can't really deal with this sort of army. So notice there, Zest is going to push across, but I mean, Q is ready for the base trade. These guys can run in the main. He's going to kill the DT shrine. He's already been scanning to kill all these DTs. Zest's going to go for a desperate attack on the other side of the map. Q are doing really well in the main. That army gets cleaned up, but these guys are going to run in and take out the front. Can he get back to his production, though? Kua is going to pick up, re-rally to the main base, and defend the high ground. His units in the main do get defended. The Colossus almost goes down. There's no DTs left, so this is not too bad if it goes into a semi-base trade. Zest's economy is totally fudged right now. He is absolutely toasted, but the medevacs are getting focused down. Ooh, Kua picks up. He's going to try and get out of there. Remember, the Colossus range advantage is still here, though. In a front-on fight, these Colossi are still somewhat unanswerable. One Marine in the main somehow. There's still Widowmines everywhere. Zest's economy is toast. It's all just about go home and defend this army now. He's going to drop there and try to surround this. Zest should be dead in this game. We've got 3-3 for Zest, so he's got the upgrade advantage. He's going to try and catch these SCVs, but he's in danger of getting surrounded. Wait, the Zealots are coming though. This flank actually turns into the Hunter. Cure becomes the Hunted. That army tries to pull off to the right side. There's Stalkers on him. Big army on the left tries to come forward, but look at this. Zest scared off the flank, and now it's a one-directional fight where the Colossus can work their magic. Only one sentry, but it's a double upgrade advantage right now. Cure is actually down 20 army supply, and Zest has managed to shepherd him home and force a big fight. Zest is all in on 13 probes. Q is making way more units right now, but I don't know if he can hold this army. The double upgrade advantage is there. Zest, 50 seconds. He's only got 50 seconds of 3-3 advantage. He's only got this army. He's got no reinforcement, but the Colossus +3 laser beams are roasting and toasting. And the fact that Q did not get up any tanks or Vikings until only now, 2 Vikings, he's got no answer to the Colossi. He's got no defender's advantage. There's not many Widow Mines left. There's no siege tanks. And because of this, look at the way the buildings are now going to be used as terrain to the Colossus advantage. He's got force fields in there, so if you try to jump on him, he can force field you back. Look at that. Preemptive force field. He's going to pull into this choke point. He says, come and fight me in the choke points, dickhead. This is it. Just a big stack of Stalker, Sentry, Colossi, and there's just no bio left. He's got a few Marauders and Marines. Cure savagely wrecked the economy of Zest, but Zest actually did not lose that much army. He lost all of his probes, but in the end, he's leveraging this perfect push. The Marauders are going to take out 1 Colossi. They're going to take out 1 Colossi only. The Viking might get that last one, but he's got nothing left on the ground, and Zest claws it back. Ooh, weathers the storm, and he actually absorbs so many punches in that game. Q is so much less efficient that it actually works out for him. Oh, what a game, what a series. That was absolutely legendary. GG, well played. That was a wild one, guys. GG's. Holy shit. Zest wins with a 4-3. I did not watch that series live at all. That's my first time watching it. Thanks for enjoying this with me, guys. See you in the next one.